guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Archie. If you're new here, hi, it's nice to meet you. If you're not, welcome back. It's great to see you. So today, honestly, is a story time look. I already did my eyes. I'm mainly gonna do my face and like do little things as I talk to you guys about living in New York. From what it was like when I first lived here compared to what it's like now. So yeah, let's get started. So I already do have like a light coverage of foundation on because I was doing my brows, but I'm going to plan on putting more on because like I do want to cover my little marks. So I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty foundation. To contrary belief though, New York is actually a really safe city. Like you'd be surprised. Like when I first came, my grandmother and family are always like, oh my gosh, you need to be safe, do this, that, and the third, that way nothing happens to you. And the worst thing that's honestly ever happened to me in New York is, yes, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually got pickpocketed so easily on the train. And yeah, no, everything else about living in New York has been pretty safe. Like the trains, I mean the trains aren't really that safe because, you know, people are crazy. But where I live, there's not really much crime. Where I go, never see a problem. I feel like it's a really safe place. I haven't had any issues besides that one. And when I first like moved here, I was scared. I really was, because I was like, oh my god, this is gonna happen, that and third's gonna happen. And yeah, no, I haven't. Oh, I lied
again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
I just remembered my phone got stolen. So I've been pickpocketed and my phone has been stolen all since I've been living in New York. And that's been like, what, 5 years now? Well, no. Living in New York for 3, 2 because of school, if y'all want to count that. But yeah, other than that, I find New York a pretty safe place. A lot worse things have happened before, but like I personally haven't had any issues. Besides those two of getting, you know, my phone stolen and pickpocketed, other than that, everything's been fine on my end. And I did, you know, when I first started, was a little scared about, you know, living here because of that. But now that I live here, I'm just like, it's whatever. It's okay. You just have to be aware of your surroundings. When I first came to New York as a child, I was 18. I'm setting my face with the Sephora brand, Neutral Almond Matte Powder. When I first came to New York though, like I was very worried about working. And honestly, you don't need to worry. There's always something to do as in a job. Like you can work doing anything. And I mean anything. There's people that get paid to go grocery shopping. There's Uber. There's people that, you know, do food delivery. You can work no matter what. And even if it's just to have a job at first, you can find that. Or to work in your field, you can do that. It's all about hustling. New York is one big place about it's either going to make you or break you. I've met people from college that lived here for a year and just gone back home. All for the simple fact that they just couldn't do it. They couldn't live here. It's not for them. And that it broke them. I'm so tired. And honestly, like, even when I was younger, I always had that mentality, like, New York is not going to break me. I'm going to make something out of it. It might not be the best of something at the time, but it's going to be something. And, you know, here I am now, you know, enjoying my life, doing what I got to do. And I enjoy what I do. It's fun. Sometimes. Some people are just, eh. And what I also do like is the simple fact that anywhere you go, there's always, like, something happening. And younger me didn't realize that New York is actually, like, rich in culture and diversity. Like, you could go down the street and something historical is around you and you wouldn't even know it. Little me running around New York, I would just sit there and be like, la 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 la, this, that, and third. Not realizing that I'm actually passing by some important buildings, passing by some important statues, or some kind of event happened around the area that I'm in the moment. And not acknowledging that. And I just think that's so weird. When I was young, now here I am, I was like, I wonder what happened here. I'm like, what's the backstory to this? Like, for example, I literally witnessed, there was a street on the side of my road, on the side of where I live, And it wasn't always, it used to be a street, but now it's a plaza. Like people can actually like sit down and eat and like hang out around there. And I was just like, that itself, I mean, it's not a big thing, but it's like a thing. What I'm trying to say is like, you never know like what's going on. I'm bronzing with the Pro and Glow, Tardis Pro and Glow Blush Kit using Solo. And I just think it's so freaking cool because like, I want to, like, what's the history? Like, Central Park? Central Park is another thing. Central Park is huge. And, like, younger me didn't know that until, like, I was walking around and I literally got lost. I'm like, where am I going? And then I looked at a map and I'm like, oh, this place is big. For granted, why Central Park was the history of Central Park isn't the best. Look into it. Google what Central Park replaced, and it's actually a really bad history about it. That's also why I try my best not to go there, because it's nice, don't get me wrong, but like I just don't feel comfortable going there because it took away, like it made people force them to move and struggle, and that's a whole different story. But yeah, younger me also didn't realize that you don't have to eat what you're used to in New York. Like, I would always feel like, I felt like I would always eat the same regular thing in New York when I was here, when I was young. I also was a college student and broke, so that kind of makes sense. But, excuse me. But now, like, New York is so full of so much food. The food scene in New York is amazing. Like, it's nice. You can try different cultures and different dishes. It's so good. Like, I remember when I first came, and my freshman year roommate and I and our suite mate, we went out to eat. And we went out to this Mediterranean spot. And I was just like, oh, I never had this before. This is different. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is good. And now, you know, I try my best not to eat somewhere that I feel like is boring. I want to try something new. And New York is all about that. Like, there's always going to be some kind of dish for you to try. And like, younger me just didn't understand that at first. Because I will admit, there's been a lot of times where, like, I'll go somewhere because I'm like, oh, I'm foreign. Like, I know this. I know it's going to be good. Now I'm just like, girl, let's go here. Let's try this out. Shit. We either going to hate it or we going to like it. It's going to be one of those. And to this day, I don't think I've actually had, like, a bad experience at a restaurant where I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm never coming back here again. Everywhere I've pretty much gone has been pretty good. I hate, honestly, trying to, like, contour down here. Bronze tour down here. Because, like, I just feel like it gets covered up either way. Like, another thing about younger me that didn't realize how social New York is, like, yeah, it's overcrowded and there's a bunch of folks. But because there's a bunch of folks, there's not a lot of networking. Like, all you have to do is open your mouth and look. A closed mouth don't get fed, like my mama taught me. You actually have to put in effort to get what you want. Things just don't get handed down to you here. Like, you actually have to want what you want. You actually have to hustle for your career, for your goal. And like, some people just like, I'm so used to be like, here, spoon fed. And I'm like, no, New York is not for that. New York does not, no. New York will chew you up and spit you out. And younger me was terrified. Like, trying to find a job when I was younger was the worst. Because I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Trust me, just talk to people. Find out. You're not the only one confused. But some people, if you may not find the answer, somebody else has, most likely. You just have to find that person. And just explore. Like, don't be so stuck up to yourself. Actually speak. Like, people aren't that bad. Like, for granted, people really do be minding their business in New York, but you never know. Some people are actually helpful. Like, for example, this one lady, this has nothing to do with a career, but this one lady, so sweet of her. I had a really long day. Like, I'm talking about long. I passed out on the train, like, knocked out, like, no tomorrow, slump. And you know, for granted, we all keep to ourselves usually, but like, this lady woke me up because my stop is the last stop on the train. So like, obviously, like, we're there, the train stopped, and you just see me knocked out like no tomorrow. This lady woke me up and she's like, is this your stop? And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Looked around confused. I was like, oh, you are so sweet. Thank you, dear. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say, it doesn't hurt to ask people or get help, because someone's going to help you. Also, in New York, I feel like it's the place where I'm bringing up the bronze tour up to my eyebrows, just so it looks like more snatched from my nose. Also, I like about New York is like, for honestly, like when I first came to New York, I didn't really have I had a sense of self, but not as much as I do now. Like now, I'm over here doing my face, getting makeup, and when I first came to New York, I wasn't like that. New York, for me, honestly, is a place where you can be anyone and anything that you want to be. And listen, it's true. The things I do now, compared to when I first came, two different things. Why? Because I've grown. I've basically figured out who I want to be. I know I usually use like my little flat foundation brush, but I wanted to try something different today and use my my diffuser brush for my eyeshadows, except I cleaned it and now I'm using it for my nose to see how I feel about it. Because, you know, I love me a nice nose. But yeah, like, you could be basically whatever you want here. As long as you, like, are comfortable with who you are, go from there. And it's not that hard. Now, little old me did not know how to fully dress when I first came to New York. Like, I thought I was cute. But New York made me humble myself, because what I thought was cute was basic. And now, I feel like when I go out, I have to have like a certain like a demeanor when you go out. When I go out, because like I like how my fashion makes me feel more confident, and that's the thing about New York. There's always a fashion scene. There's always people looking. Whether you might not realize it or not, if you select an outfit, you're going to mentally peep that, like, and you're probably going to remember that as you go. There's always people putting looks. There's always somewhere to go where there's, like, nice clothes. Like, for example, Soho, and you know, this is cliche and basic, Soho has so many nice stores. So many nice stores where you can get dressed up real nice and, you know, feel pretty confident about yourself. I think the nose is good. Let me start highlighting. And I just, now here I am, like, when I get dressed, like, I know what to expect. I know, like, what I'm trying to go for. Like, the fashion here, honestly, also hopes, like, you realize, like, what style and look you want to go for. Ooh, wow, apparently I really needed that sneeze. But yeah, style and look you want to go for. Like, now I'm actually like really happy where I am with my sense of style, because like I just feel more confident, more like myself with it. Like, for granted, it's become more androgynous, because like I wear men and women's clothing and don't really care what anyone thinks. As long as I'm comfortable in it, that's what matters. Comfortable and look good. I am currently also using Fenty Beauty's Pro Filter Powder in Banana to like highlight everything. You know, gotta set it. It's just, you know, messy because everything gets everywhere. Another thing I do like about New York, a lot of stuff, and I mean like a lot of stuff, is open late night. Like, because in the South, a lot of things like close early, but like here, yeah, no. If they keep that door open, they're gonna keep that door open. Like, I know places that don't. I know actually a diner that doesn't close. It's 24/7, and it's in 34th Street, and it's called TikTok. Ironically enough, it's called TikTok, and it's a really good diner. And then there's actually one by me called Arch Diner. Funny, right? How like it also matches my name. That is open from 12 a.m. to, if I remember right, 9 a.m. And I was like, wow. Trying a different little style technique with my contour today, so we're going to see how this turns out. Oh no, that one was so... Like, even the Target by my... Oh, well, it's not anymore. The Target by my house used to be 24 hours. And it was so convenient because, you know, when it's late and I'm a late person, I do stuff really late. Like, for crying out loud, it's 1 in the morning right now. Here I am doing my makeup. Like, I like to get things done at night. I'm very much a night owl. And, like, I could have the whole day to do it, but watch me, like, not do it until it's, like, late night. And, like, that's okay, which is also great because, like, a lot of places just stay open. Little old me didn't know that. Like, I got so used to, like, things being closed down by 9 or 10, da-da-da-da. And now here I am, like, used to be like, oh, it's 2 in the morning. Can we order something? Let's get some food. Let's go here. Da-da-da-da. It's so convenient. In my opinion, it's very, really, really convenient compared to down south. Like, I noticed at the liquor store. Yes, I'm using the liquor store as an example. Don't at me. The liquor store actually down south closes at, like, I think, what, 8, 9, if I remember. Here, ours just, they don't close. Like, they don't close till, like, late. Like, the one in my house before Corona happens closed at, like, 2 in the morning. And it's just like, wow. Things are so different now. So different. But, yeah, no. Something's always open. Like, even if you can't find it in your area, you can order it. People gotta make their money. Of course they're gonna stay open. Of course they're gonna stay open. Like, please. Ugh. Let's talk about the MTA. The MTA? The trains? Subway? I mean, it's there. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. But it's not my favorite thing. It's really not. It's convenient. It's reliable. It's effective. It gets you where you need to go, but it's not the best. Oh, unrelated note. I got new lashes today. I'm so excited to try them out. I'm not gonna open. Oh, ha ha. Yeah, like, little old me didn't realize how, like, godly these subways and buses are until I got stuck late night at 1, 2 in the morning in some place in New York where I didn't know shit about. And guess what? I found my way home. I sure did. Shout out to the MTA because I was struggling. And that's another thing, like, New York really teaches you, like, how to, like, navigate. And I'm so sorry for with our direction challenge because y'all would just suffer here. For me, yeah, no. The MTA, when I was younger, didn't know a lick thing about it. Now, you can put me anywhere in New York. As long as I can find a train, I can find my way home or anywhere else. Anywhere. Train. Now, if we do bus, though, not so much. I'm still learning the bus system. I'm not really a fan of buses, in my opinion. They're not for me. But, you know, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Little old me would always be bored. Honestly, always be bored. And so I realized that there's always something to do in New York. Like, literally always something to do. And the best part is you don't have to spend money. Like, there's a lot of things to do for the low. For the low. I'm trying to measure these real fast. Whoa. Actually, we're not going to do this. I'm going to go struggle with my lashes. I'm going to be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. And I'm not going to hold y'all. I was struggling with these lashes. I really were. It was difficult. But, like, you know, they're finally on my face. Finally on my face. And, you know, just going to do one of the final touches. And then, boom. But the difference a lash can make, honestly, is just wow. Like, wow. Just wow. I'm really just wowed by a lash. Because, you know, a lash can just make or break a lot of things. And I am wowed. What else can I say? Let's talk about how expensive New York is. So when I was here, living, when I was young, making, you know, getting my monies from down south, because, you know, when I came in New York, I had like a few paychecks still coming from my part-time job back in south, which wasn't much, because in North Carolina, the minimum wage, I think, is still $7.25, unfortunately. And, you know, I would get those checks. I would get, like, I had, like, 2 checks left. And I didn't realize that I was like, oh, my God, New York's actually really, 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 really expensive. And, like, those 2 checks would come and then, poof, they're gone. In, like, less than an hour. Because I have to take care of things. I was a student. I had to worry about printing. Also, that's another thing. Printing in school is a scam. For if you're a college student watching this, just buy a printer. Just buy a printer. Buy a printer is gonna help. Is gonna save you money, you're gonna realize that you don't need to go to the labs all the time for it. Just go ahead, buy your printer, keep pushing. You'll thank me later. But, oh my eyeball. Ouch. We're fine. I'm okay. But, yeah, like, it's actually really, really freaking expensive. And I didn't realize that until, like, I was trying to get an apartment. And I was, oh my god, I actually hurt the crap out my eye when I was powdering it. Oh. I'm okay. But yeah, I didn't realize how expensive it was until, like, I needed to find an apartment. And, you know, I'm looking for an apartment and struggling to find one because I'm like, these are, like, really, like, this is a lot of money, yo. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to do a quick refresher because I feel like my face is a little dry with the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. I'm gonna need a new one real soon. I also like put it on there. But yeah, I didn't realize how expensive all of this was, and I was just like, geez, and like struggling to find an apartment when I was like young, dumb, and broke was even more difficult. But now, fortunately enough, I do live in an apartment, which is I think is a good price, and you know I can pay my bills and keep pushing every day. Now that I actually make New York money, like it's manageable, it's easy. I feel like New York is honestly one of those places, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere because, you know, financially, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. But yeah, here I am doing a thing. If I can do it, you can do it. It's really simple. It's really easy. Let's talk about how there are some folks that can be rude. So obviously I'm from the South and like I'm used to having Southern manners. Yes ma'am, no ma'am, all of that. You will have your rude locals. You will have those people that are just like, dang, who hurt you? For my blush, I'm using Marble Light and Halo. And like, some people are just, frankly, they're not happy with their life and they try to push it onto you. But guess what? That's not your business. Like, it's not your business at all. Some people are just upset. Some people actually don't want to live in New York. And like, don't get me wrong, it's understandable. But like, damn. You ain't gotta push that on my way. And younger me, you always felt like so offended by it. Because like people just be rude and I could be so nice and sweet. I'm like, what did I do? Da, da, da. But now that I'm grown, I'm just like, child, keep pushing. It's whatever. Da, 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 da. And some folks, you just gotta be rude back. Because if you rude back, some of them just gonna stop me shook. Yeah. I got a mouth too and I can use it. I ain't scared. So I do get a little red here sometimes. So I'm obviously gonna, you know, add some of my blush there. Oh, I think this is so pretty. Like, look at that. Giving you a little rosy and cheeky. Oh my gosh. I'm actually missing a brush that I was gonna use. Oh no, I'm just blind. Blend that out a little more. With the... yeah, some people are just rude. You gotta keep pushing. Don't honestly, like, you just learn not to take offense to it because some people are just, ugh. Especially working in retail here, yo, people are just upset with their life and just angry. And you're just like, alright. And then you just gotta keep pushing. Another thing. I didn't realize how dirty New York was until I got my own apartment. So, you know, when I first got to New York, I was living on campus, so I didn't really notice it. But as I was like living here and like going from day to day in my own place, I realized I was just like, folks are trash, like literal trash. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amarizi highlighter. Like, some people are just upset with themselves. Oh wait, we're talking about trash. Haha, people are trash. Ha! See what I did there? Wow. But yeah, no. Some people are actually like, no, in all seriousness, people are trash. But people like are just dirty as well. Like, cause living in an apartment and like going to see my neighbors and like seeing what they do. Not like inside, but like how they, cause on trash days, I just sit there like, ugh. I'm judging you, but I'm not judging you. But I am judging you. Cause some folks, I'm just like, how you live like this? Like, for example, like my upstairs neighbors before they moved, like something like we would have bugs, and like down where I live, like I was a floor below them. And I'd be so confused because I was like, it's so clean down here. Why am I getting bugs? My landlord was confused too. Until we realized once the upstairs neighbors moved, they were filthy, like filthy. They would, like, for example, my landlord told me how when she went to go clean the apartment, she had to get a scraper and scrape off grease from the stove. And I was just like, disgusting. Like, people casually live in filth. And I couldn't do it. It's not for me. And now that I'm grown, people are still disgusting and dirty. New York is still a dirty place, but hey, it's not as bad. I guess you could say I got used to it. Yeah, no, I did get used to it. I'm not even gonna lie. I did get used to it. Because it's just like, ugh. And then, probably the last thing I would have to talk about New York is honestly how the weather is so weird. You get extremely long winters, a month of blazing hot summer, and here it is. I had to struggle to find this. A month of blazing hot summer, and then it's just cold. There's like no in between. It's hot, then it's just brick, and it's just like, for those who don't live in New York, brick means very, very freaking cold. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, again, I got used to it, of course. Oh, I'm using Fenty's Beauty's Plush Matte in Thick. It's just, like, right now, the week just passed, and we're in November. It's so weird, too. In November, it's like 70 degrees. I'm like, what? We're like in fall, soon to be in winter. And I'm getting hit with 70 degrees. I'm hot outside. Yo, this is crazy. Crazy. But yeah. When I first came, I was not prepared for that. Especially for the winter, yo. I would have these light little bombers thinking it's not that bad. Then I was like, oh my god, it's freaking cold. And people would tell me all the time, what are you wearing? Where's your coat? And I'm like, oh, I don't have one yet. Like, I wasn't prepared. But now, you know, living here for so long, I'm used to it. I have actual clothing. I remember the day I actually, like, put on a full set of winter clothes, and I went to go visit my aunt all the way up in Washington Heights. And she looked at me, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're actually dressed. I was like, don't do that. I wasn't used to this. Y'all didn't prepare me like this. Y'all would tell me about it, but I thought, yeah, it's whatever. Until winter, which is like, boy, come here. You thought this was a game? No, sir. I'm for real. Oh. And then summer? Yeah, no, summer is just hot. Hot. Blazing. And it also doesn't help that... God forbid. Oh my gosh. But it also doesn't help that, like, when you go down to the train, it's just hot because they just produce a lot of heat, and it's the worst. But honestly, would I live anywhere else after everything I just told you about? No. Alrighty, this is the final look. So even though I just told you guys my before and afters of living in New York, honestly, would I live anywhere else? No, not at all. New York has its ups and downs, but I personally love it. I can find myself growing old here, and like a lot of people can't say that. But it's fun. It's every day something new. Every day is exciting. It's really just what you make it. I'm glad that like I'm still here, and I don't plan on going anywhere because I'm here to stay. Yeah, I'm here to stay unless I decide to go to California. That's, you know, a different story. You know, we all have plans and aspirations. We're gonna make it work. But yeah, New York's pretty fun. I like it. It's like it's somewhere in my heart. And yeah, it's just, I really like it here. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna like it. It's crowded. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of mess. But hey, everything's what you make it. And that's where I'm at. Making it the best. Just like you are by going ahead and clicking on that video right there and checking it out. It doesn't hurt to click. Doesn't hurt to just let it play in the background. Go ahead. Click it.